How's it going? Ryan here at Etrailer.com. Today on our 2019 Ford F-150, we're going to be taking a look at and showing you how to install the CURT Class IV 2-inch trailer hitch receiver. Right off the bat, one of the main things that really separates this hitch from any of the others is the fact that it is a Class 4. So that means it's going to be more heavy duty and be able to handle more weight. So depending on your application and you haul things quite frequently, this one is going to be a good choice. Now, even though it is more heavy duty, it is still going to provide us with that nice clean factory look, and this is going to be more than enough to carry just about any accessory too. Now, as far as the hitch's weight capacities go, it's going to have a 1,000 pound maximum gross tongue weight rating. So that's going to be the amount of weight pushing down on the hitch. As far as the maximum gross trailer weight rating goes, it's going to be 10,000 pounds. So that's going to be the amount of weight pulling on the hitch. So that's the weight of your trailer plus anything that you might have on it. Now, this can be used with the weight distribution system, which is a separate component, but if you are using that, the weight capacities do increase. The maximum gross tongue weight rating goes up to 1,200 pounds, and the maximum gross trailer weight rating goes up to 12,000 pounds. Now, I do like to recommend it's never a bad idea to check with your Ford's owner's manual to make sure your truck can pull that much weight. So the hitch is going to have a 2-inch by 2-inch receiver tube opening, which is going to work really well for a lot of different types of ball mounts as well as accessories. And it's also going to have a reinforced collar for extra strength. It's going to have the standard 5/8 size pinhole. Now keep in mind, a pin and clip does not come included, but if you need one, you can find it here at Etrailer.com. Now, one of the things that I really like is the safety chain openings. They're going to be a plate style and really heavy duty. They're also going to give us more than enough room to use just about any size hook that we might have. Now, the hitch is going to give us some really good clearance too. The end of the receiver tube is just going to sit right behind the back of our bumper, and so that's going to give us plenty of room to get our ball mount in and out, or even any folding accessories that we plan on storing in the upright position. And it's not going to be a big eyesore here on the back of our truck because it's sticking out real far or sitting way back. Now, if you are doing some towing, I would recommend picking up some trailer wiring. However, I did notice a lot of these F-150s do come from the factory with 4-pole flat trailer connectors. So if you end up needing a 7-way, you can find that here at Etrailer.com. Now I'm going to give you a couple of measurements, and you're going to use these to help figure out which hitch-mounted accessories to get. From the ground to the top inside edge of the receiver tube opening, it's going to be about 20 inches. And you're going to use that to figure out if you need to get a ball mount with either a drop or a rise. From the center of the hitch pin hole to the edge of the rear bumper, that's about 3.5 inches. And you're going to use that to figure out if any folding accessories that you might have can be stored in the upright position without contacting the bumper. So overall, a good looking heavy duty hitch that's going to work well for many different applications. And as far as the installation goes, it's really not all that bad. It's pretty straightforward. In my opinion, the hardest part is trying to hold the hitch up while you're getting all your hardware going, but it's something that can easily be done at home in your driveway. To begin our installation, we're first going to start by temporarily removing our spare tire. That way it'll give us a lot more room to work. Now we can move underneath the truck and start working down here. And on the passenger side of the frame rail, we're going to have a ground wire that we need to move out of the way for now. So I'll take a 10mm, take that bolt out, you can take that wire off and just kind of set it out of the way for now. Now these rearward most holes on each side of our frame rail, what we're going to do is take one of these U-shaped spacer blocks, and I'm just going to use a piece of packing tape to stick to it. We're going to tape this to the frame, and you want to make sure that the recessed part in the spacer block kind of lines up with the hole there. We'll tape that to the frame, and once it's stuck, what I'm going to do is poke that tape out of the way. around the hole. That way we can get some hardware through it. And we're going to do this for both sides. Now we can work on getting our hardware inside of our frame rail. And we're going to do that using the fish wire technique. So we're going to take the coiled end of our fish wire and push it through this hole towards the front of the truck. We're going to try to get it out of this hole. Now whenever you do this, you want to try to keep this fish wire down. And what I mean by that is you want that fish wire to go underneath this beam here. That way there's enough room to pull our hardware through. So I like to put a little bend in it just to help me with that. Push it towards the front of the truck. You may have to reach in and help pull it out. Then what we're going to do is take a spacer block, put that over the coiled end, as well as a carriage bolt. So we're going to thread that carriage roll on. We're going to push that spacer block into the frame rail, as well as a carriage bolt. Pull it towards the back of the truck. And work it out through our attachment point here. Now I'm going to use that same technique for our other attachment point, which will be right here. So take the coiled end, push it through. We're going to use that same hardware combination. A spacer block and a carriage bolt. Thread it on. Feed it through. And pull them out. Now to make it a little bit easier whenever we actually lift our hitch up into place, what I'm going to do is just barely get our bolt to sit inside of the frame for each one. That way we know they're lined up, but they're not going to be sticking out, and it'll be a lot easier to actually lift our hitch up without any interference. Now the other side of the frame rail is set up the exact same way, so we're going to repeat that process over there. Now we can grab our hitch, and on each side of it, we're going to have a hole right here. And so we're going to take a spacer block and actually tape it to the hitch. So we'll line the holes up. Get it taped in place. And to make it a little easier, once we're holding it up, just poke a hole in the tape to allow a bolt to easily pass through it. Now with this side done, we'll go to the other side of the hitch and repeat that same process. Now with an extra set of hands, we can take our hitch and lift it into position. And we're going to grab our pull wires and run them through the corresponding holes in our hitch. And we can start to raise it into position. And as we're doing that, I like to kind of feed our pull wires up with it so we can get that hitch raised up, get the holes to line up, and we're able to pull our hardware through. These ones towards the front of the truck, you may have to kind of work them a little bit to get the bolt through. And once you have it through, what you're going to do is remove that fish wire. You're going to take a flange nut. We're going to want to get one started on each side, hand tight. That way the hitch will support itself while we work on the rest of the hardware. Just kind of a tech tip, if you're having trouble getting the flange nut started on the bolts because they just want to push in the frame rail, what you can do is take a flathead screwdriver and kind of just apply some pressure to that bolt to keep it steady, and that'll make it a lot easier to get the nut started. Now with all of our hardware in place and hand tight, we can go ahead and snug it all down. Now what we can do is come back over to the passenger side and take our ground wire. Now it's going to have a little bend in it, so we're just going to take a pair of pliers and straighten it out flat. We're going to take the included bolt, run it through that ground, and re-secure it. Now we can grab a torque wrench and tighten all of our hardware down to the amount specified in the instructions. Now at this point, with our hitch in place, we can go ahead and reinstall our spare tire. And as you can see, we're going to have no problem getting our spare tire back in place. And that'll finish up our look at and our installation of the CURT Class IV 2-inch trailer hitch receiver on our 2019 Ford F-150.